Richard Gere walked onto the stage of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert with his usual grace and quiet charm. The audience gave him a warm welcome as he settled into his chair opposite. Colbert, the conversation began with light laughs and nostalgia. As they touched on Gere's iconic roles and his latest film release, everything appeared to be unfolding like a standard. Celebrity interviews. Stephen complimented Richard on his long-standing career and his commitment to humanitarian causes, bringing up Gere's decades-long advocacy for human rights and his work with Tibetan communities. Richard spoke passionately about the causes. He cares about emphasizing the importance of using fame to amplify voices that often go unheard, but things quickly took a turn when Colbert brought up a recent article that accused Gere of pushing personal politics too far into his film appearances. Colbert posed the question with a smile, but the underlying tone was clear, and the audience felt the shift immediately. Richard's demeanor changed ever so slightly, and he replied firmly that artists have always reflected society and challenged power through their work. He said it wasn't about politics, it was about truth and compassion. Colbert countered by questioning whether mixing activism with entertainment could alienate audiences who simply want to enjoy a story. The conversation became noticeably tense as Gere defended the role of actors in social movements and Colbert pressed harder, saying some viewers feel lectured when politics seep into performances. Gere responded that if telling the truth makes people uncomfortable, then maybe they should examine why. Colbert attempted to make a joke to ease the mood, but Gere wasn't laughing. He looked directly at Colbert and said he didn't appreciate being boxed into a narrative that misrepresents his intentions. He added that framing compassion as politics was a dangerous way to shut down important conversations. As the tension grew, Colbert continued to push, suggesting that Gere's activism had made him a polarizing figure in Hollywood, and that it might be why some studios hesitate to work with him. Gere's expression hardened, and he asked if that was meant to be a real question or just a headline for the next clickbait article. In that moment, Gere removed his mic and calmly stood up, thanking the audience for their time and support. He turned to Colbert and told him he expected more from a show that claimed to value meaningful discussion. Before walking off stage without another word, the audience was left in stunned silence, unsure if what they had witnessed was a bit or a real moment of conflict. The show quickly cut to commercial, but the tension in the studio was undeniable, and producers rushed behind the scenes to assess the fallout. By the time the clip hit social media that night, it was already viral, with thousands weighing in on whether Richard Gere was justified in walking out or if the line of questioning had simply crossed the line. Either way, it was a moment that would be talked about for days across headlines and hashtags alike.